forever. Forever. It's the worst month. And, oh god. I remember back in middle school, I was like homeschooled like my whole life, and I got put into middle school my last year of middle school, like 8th grade. And it was like my first time back in society, communicating with people after like a 3-year hiatus. And I was just completely bastardized from communication. I had no clue where to even take my first step. It also happened to be the time where I was like, I started getting like into anime. Like, I always watched like Dragon Ball Z like as a kid and Yu Yu Hakusho, but it was like my first time like branching out and like seeing, you know, that there's a whole genre of that. And so I was like watching like Naruto and Bleach at the time. And so I went to school, and like it was like this, like the most popular chick in the school. We sat next to the same table. We sat the same table right next to each other. And she said something like one time, and she said something, and I was like, that's not true. And she was like, believe it. She said, believe it. And I was like, oh, I took that like a cue. That's my time to go. This is my time to shine. It's like, believe it? I was like, this looks like somebody's watching too much Naruto over here. That's what I said to her. And she looked at me like, huh? She's like, and I said, like, believe it, huh? I said, how about that Sharingan? And she was looking at me, she's like, what? It's like, what are you talking about? I was like, you said believe it, right? Like, believe it, like, believe it. And she was like, I never heard of Naruto. Like, what is that? I was like, huh? I was like, you never heard of Naruto? Like, is that like it's one of those cartoons that my nieces and nephews watched? When she said that, I was kind of like struck down. I was like, oh, I'm just trying to get out of this situation. Let me just pretend like that never happened. I was like, wait, hold on, I gotta grade my papers real quick. I got up. I was like, shit, I done turned myself into a geek on the first day to the most popular chick at school. But it was cool. She was cool about it. I gotta get one more. She pretended like she wasn't a geek, but she was like a closet geek, because she hung around geeks throughout her whole family, basically. The whole school was basically her entire family. It was like a small 20 student school. Like the whole school felt in one classroom. But anyways, as far as February, there was one chick there who had glasses, and she was like nerded out from head to toe, bottom to toe. Don't ask me how I know that. Yeah, she was like a super nerd, and when I met her, it was like encouraging me to take it to the next level. I wanted to be eye to eye with her. She wore glasses. I want to be eye to eye with her. And so I found out that she liked Naruto. So I went home, and I was like T-bowing Naruto and like recording it so I could wake up early in the morning and I could watch it and I could study it down to a science. And I would go to school the next day and try to impress her. And so one day I was like, I'm about to die, am I? I'm about to freaking die. How am I about to die? Cross your butts. Button your butts. Yo, freak. God damn it, yeah, this is your fault. It's all your fault. Crap, what was I even talking about? Okay, we're gonna beat this. We're gonna come back even stronger. What was I talking about? Okay. Oh yeah, there's this chick. Well, I was trying to like impress with like geeky anime stuff. So I found out like her favorite character was Sasuke. And so when I found that out, I started like copying the mannerisms of Sasuke. I would like sit at my desk and I like fold my arms around my mouth. And I like glance at her to the side like in the classroom. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking so cool right now. She's probably got the hots for me. I was like, hell yeah, I'm in there. And one day I'm not going further. I'm not going far enough. Like I gotta step it up. And so I saw like this episode where like Sasuke had like the curse mark, and it was like the curse mark of like ink going across his skin. So what I did is before the day of school, I like found a marker and I like marked my arm up with like the curse marks symbols, and I put like on my hand and like on my arm. I was like, yeah, this is gonna do it. Like, she's gonna fall in love with me now. And like, I wore a jacket that day, so my mom didn't see it when she dropped me off. I was like wearing this hot cotton jacket in like a 90-degree morning. And I was burning up when I got to school. I was sweating, like I feel like a piece of plastic. I was so wet. I mean, so wet. Oh my god, I was so sweaty that day. And I showed it off to her, and she saw it. She was like, "Oh god!" It's like she couldn't believe like I did something so nerdy like that. She's like, "Oh god, I can't believe you did that." I was like, "You like it? Like it's pretty cool, huh?" But I guess it all sort of worked out. I guess all the stuff that I was doing kind of worked out, because it turned out that she actually did like me. So anyways, one Valentine's, it's like the next year, on Valentine's Day, we had kind of been like, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way. Get up there, son. I don't know. I forgot which way to go. So on Valentine's Day, or like the month of February, like right before Valentine's Day, we were clicking like more so than ever before. We were just clicking on everything that we did. We were there. Like, we were seeing eye to eye to eye to eye to eye. Like we were in there. And people kept saying, "Why aren't you guys just getting together?" And like that's where the talk was around the school. Like, why aren't you guys are together, aren't you? And like, I'm not gonna deny it. And I just like, I'll just didn't answer the question. Because answering those type of questions are the kind of questions that ruin everything. Like, oh yeah, like, oh, we're totally together, and then the next thing you know, she wants to stop being around you because where the hell am I going? God freaking buttermilks. So anyways, freaking where is this freaking, I think I found it. Nice. Okay, we can set up now. Okay, So like this, like we were clicking like that whole month, like just I would tell like any joke I would tell, and she would laugh at it, and she would crack up laughing. You know, she would like just had like this obsession with like touching me, like for whatever reason. Like she would just poke me and said that she liked poking me and crap like that. And it was really weird, but whatever, it worked. Whatever, I was cool with it. And you know, she was like just really, it's really like, I guess the signs were like obvious, but back then I was like oblivious as all hell. Like literally somebody would just, girls would just walk up to me and ask me, hey, could you open this water bottle for me? Because I know you're real strong, you got muscles like that. And I'm like, whatever, like why don't you just open it yourself? I'll walk off. Like I didn't catch on to any of the clues back then. It's like, why don't you just open it yourself? Walk off. Every time somebody asks me to, I'm like, you could do it. What you need to do is you just do it like this, and you could do it yourself. Like, easy. And people were like, I don't think anybody ever asked me for my number because they knew that I didn't like talking to people. They knew that I was like antisocial, so these like, everybody knew that I didn't talk on the phone or I didn't have a cell phone. This was back in like 2006, so to have a cell phone, you have to like be like at the top of the social butterfly type of deal. You know, if you had a cell phone, you were bragging about it. You were bragging about it. It was like having a car. You had a cell phone, you might as well own a company. It was that big of a deal back then. Okay, I gotta focus and put some stuff on her. Therapy ring would be cheap. Just gonna give her the freaking same thing that we did last time. Okay. Why not? And we need the freaking shoes to max that out. Where are they? Right here. Alright. Everything else doesn't matter. Maybe keep Albert in. Yeah. Crap, I forgot the healer. Ah, freak. Okay. Doesn't matter. We'll be better off as long as we don't give her a power up right away and we can allow her to like get some Dragoon first. And then we can max out on the power up damage and it'll be nice. Be nice. So where was I at in the lore? So yeah, we were like clicking this one February, and finally on Valentine's Day, I believe, wait, before this point, we were like talking online. Like in 2006, we were like online, just chatting it up. Where do you talk online in 2006? It was like there was MySpace at the time, but it was like MySpace, and then Facebook was like a baby orphan fox at that time. It was like a baby orphan fox tossed away in a garbage bin. Nobody knew what it was. Facebook was like it might as well have been the back pages or something like that. And like she liked it that I could draw stuff for her, so like do a lot of drawing and for her and her friends, and I would do them for free, like commissioning them for free. I guess no point in saying commission, but so we was just like, it was a well-oiled machine. By the time February came around, and it was like, one day at lunch, I just walked off. I was like, man, I wonder if this is ever even going to happen. And she followed me like into like the classroom, like alone. We were in there alone. And she was leaning on my desk and was asking me like, why are you in here alone? I was like, it was whatever. I'm just like not feeling it. And we just mumbled on for a while, and I was just asking like, hey, do you like me? And I was like, oh, I said, I like you. I told her that I liked her. And she started fiddling around with her like one of those freaking nervous anime chicks. Basically, she was basically an anime chick. She might as well have been walking around sketched in I forget what it's called. She might as well have been cel-shaded, walking around everywhere. And then she told me like, yeah, she likes me too. Like she kind of likes me too. And that was that. And yeah, after that, we just kind of just kept going back and forth. Like, I like you, but you like me. It was like, no, you like me, but I like you. And we both kept saying it, and we were like trying to get our minds around it. Like, does this make sense? Like, no, does it make sense to you? Like, well, if we say it one more time, maybe it'll start to make sense. And yeah, we were together for like, after that, we just kind of, it just felt weird. Like, after you spend so much time like just being a lone wolf, or just like just not being aware of what compassion or any of that stuff is, or just being an oblivious piece of crap like me, it just felt off. Like I wanted to talk shit to her. I wanted to talk like some mad shit like every time, but I just kind of felt weird. Like, should I do this, or should I put a flower in her ear? Or do I just like talk shit to her? I was like, I'm confused. What do I do? So it was just weird. Like, we was just like walking around quiet. I think we held hands like once. And I was just like so confused. Like, man, like this feels like the weirdest thing I've ever experienced. And I guess she caught on to that, because like the very next day after Valentine's Day that we confessed our liking of each other, I kind of grew over the intimidation overnight. Like, I was just kind of like repeating it to myself throughout the rest of the day, throughout the night. It's like, yeah, this is real. Like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this, and this is gonna be real. Like, I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna walk into school. She's gonna be on my arm, and the red carpet is gonna roll out for us. We're gonna be like royalty walking through school. The only couple in school's history. Like, we're gonna be famous. I was like, yeah, this is happening. This is real. This is legit. So I was like just picturing it playing out in my head. Like, yeah, this could work. Like, this is like, okay, this actually happened. Like, she actually likes me. I like her. Like, yeah, it's not a dream. It's like, yeah. This is the first time I want to go to school. Like, yeah. I went to school. Like, I got to school early. You know, I dressed up, combed my hair real nice, sprayed some cologne on, some black magic cologne. I was like, yeah. I didn't wear a jacket, so I was like fresh out the presses. You know, just ready to go at anything. Throw anything at me. Throw a dinosaur at me. I was ready to round kick it. And she got to school like right as the buzzard rang, right as the horn rang. And she walked up to me. She's like, before we go to class, can I talk to you for a second? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, here it comes. We're about to about to make some mad slussies with our lips, like right here. Like, yeah. And I was like, can you talk to you for a second? I was like, sure thing. And as she said, she's like, about yesterday, can we just forget about it? I'm like, what? Like, huh? Like, can we just like pretend like it never happened? Like, we just go back to just being friends? And I was like, wait a second, you can't just do this. Like, you can't just do this. Like, I prepared for today. I was like, you can't just do this. I didn't say that, but that was like going on in my head. Like, this isn't logical. Like, I was in my head, I was like, this isn't part of the program. This isn't part of the DNA of what we were expecting. She was like, yeah, can we just go back to being friends and just pretend like it never happened? And I was like, and she was like, she was like just doing her best to try to play it down and to make it as soft of a wording as he possibly could. And so you could tell like she was nervous as hell. She was beating around the bush and was like, she was just lost as she was. I don't know how to put it, but she wasn't fully. She didn't have her script down. She was just like stumbling over herself and just like saying like, can we just, just go back to not liking each other? And she said like, I hope you don't take it the wrong way. And I was like, wait a second, 2 plus 2. I was like, what does 2 plus 2 equals? Like in my head, I was like, okay, I just have to add up a simple equation, and everything will start to make sense again. Like I gotta hurry up and solve this equation. Like 2 plus 2 equals what? 2 plus 2, okay. 1 plus 3. I couldn't come up with any answers. I couldn't come up with any logic whatsoever. I was just like befuddled. I was befuddled. And so when she told me that, I was just kind of like, I was looking forward to coming to school today, and this is how my day starts off. Like, I was like, wow, whoa. And I kind of just like nodded my head, like, okay, well, that's cool, I guess, And I said it just like that, and like as hyped as I was to go to school that day, it all zapped away like in a second. And I immediately just fell into like a depression. I went to my desk. I didn't even pick up a pencil or anything. I just got to my desk. I laid down and I fell asleep. I fell asleep and I didn't wake up until lunch or the bell rang. People went outside. I was like, I don't feel like going out. You guys play four square without me. You're playing basketball, like, whatever. So whatever. Has anybody got a cigarette? I was like 14, 15 years old. I was like, anybody got a cigarette in here? I was willing to smoke. I was willing to do anything except for being around people. And yeah, that was basically the beginning of my dislike for February. I fell in love, and then the next day it was like, hey, remember that time you fell in love with this chick and she loved you back? Yeah, it didn't happen. It didn't really happen. It was just like that. So like, I asked her to be my Valentine one day, then the very next day, early in the morning, as quick as a human whistle. It's like, nah, let's just pretend like it never happened. Like, can we just take it back and like just say like no? Yeah, I was like, man, man, like my heart, like what is this feeling in my heart? Like I can't hold it up. Like I feel my heart slipping a bit. Like I can't function right now. Like, man, what is this? Like, what is this feeling? I was like, man, I just want to sleep. I just don't want to wake up. And so I just like fell into like a depressed state. And I like you not, I was on top of my classes. I was on top of my studies, like the top of the class at that point. And then I immediately fell down to the bottom feeders of the entire school. And I never got back up to the top. I was ahead of everybody in the entire school. I was on pace to finish the year before anybody. And then I fell all the way down to the bottom. It was rough. It was rough. I had never felt the rock bottom sensation like that. But we were still cool with each other after that. I guess he kind of sensed that I was like down about, you know, not being an item, because he brought it up. Ah, freaking! Would you shut up? I was supposed to give her a power up, and okay, it's not your fault. Sorry, I didn't mean to tell you to shut up. God, freaking bit of butter. Freaking. Okay. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. It's all part of my plan. It's cool. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to tell you to shut up. I didn't mean it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me and then forgive yourself. Okay? We're in this as a team. A unit. Freaking. Okay. Okay. Stay cool. Stay cool. So yeah, we were still kind of cool after that. Like, we were less cool after that. Like, she wasn't asking me like to draw things for her anymore. You know, she wasn't poking me as much. But we were still like cool, you know. But after that, it was like I kept like wondering, like maybe like she still kind of likes me, like maybe there's still a chance, you know. So I was like in that state, and she was kind of like in a state where like nope, 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 like nope all around. So that eventually it grew a distance between us. Yeah, it sucked. It sucked. I never felt like I was like a lover boy until that point. I never felt that way. Like I was always the one making fun of people for doing stuff like, or like buying people flowers and stuff. And then I turn around and I'm like thinking like maybe I should get her some flowers, and man. But there was like this chick that she used to hang around with who probably liked me back then. But I was oblivious, and I was like, no, like I can't see you. I'm only seeing this girl right here. If I just opened my eyes just a little bit, I could have probably had a mutual Mikasa S Yukasa thing going on. But I didn't open my eyes to that. I was self-setting in my ways, and I just like, hey, 4 eyes, hey, it's pretty alright with me. You don't got 4 eyes, then I don't have, you know, our eyes ain't gonna meet. The math isn't gonna add up. 2 + 4 equals, you know, you do the math. So yeah, that was beginning of my hatred for February. And Yeah, it was cool, but things were never the same after that. Never the same. And I don't think I ever even bothered with anybody else at the school. I don't think I ever even bothered. And this next time was like, fast forward a few years later, at a different school. Everybody had split up from that school. We split up separate ways, and I'm like on a different side of the country now. So there's like this new student who's transferred into the school. She didn't know anybody there. She was like completely new. And she sits next to me in art class. I'm like, hey, God damn it. Like, I plan to not talk to anybody, like, for the rest of my life. And she sits by me. What am I going to do now? I got to sit here every day with her here. Her not knowing anything, little ass. And I got to just pretend like I don't see her when she tries to ask me a question. Like, how am I going to ignore all of her questions? Like, maybe I should just, like, go to class, and then as soon as I get to class, or as soon as she gets to class, I'll get up and I'll go to the bathroom and I'll never come back. I was like, yeah, that'll work. I was like, yeah, that's a good strat right there. And it's art class. I know I specialize in art. Like, I could just do all the extra work at home, and it will be like a hobby for me. It won't be work, this will be something I like doing. Like, yeah, it'll all work out. But obviously I never did that, because I would have got expelled if I never went to class. Even though I did get expelled months later, but that's beside the point. I got expelled for wearing a hat to school. Can you believe that? Of all the things to get expelled for, I got expelled for wearing a freaking hat. A baseball hat. A baseball hat. It was a all Hispanic school. Mostly Hispanic school. Everybody was wearing hats. Everybody was wearing hats. But this one lady behind the desk, she had it out for a young wad like me. She had it out. Every day I went to school and I tried to do something, she's like, love, you cannot do that. You can't do that, love. Like, nope. You're part of the basketball team. You're in the gym. You can't be in the gym. Get out of the gym. I was like, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to practice? Like, get out of the gym. Get out of there. Like, you can't go in there without parental guidance. I'm like, what? You can't go in a basketball gym without parental guidance? Like, we're freaking high schoolers. What the hell? It's like, nope. You can't do it. I'm like, man, I'm part of the freaking squad. You're like, do you want me to call the principal? And you're like, oh my god, whatever. And she was one of those chicks. Like, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. As long as it was me doing it, she had a problem. I would get permission from a teacher, like, hey, I'm going to go into the gym and practice. And my teachers were okay. I'll go ask all 4 of my teachers. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Go in there and practice, son. Practice that elbow J. Like, yeah. And then I'll go in, and like 5 minutes after I get in, I get into my gym clothes. She'll call me over the intercom. Could you please come into the office? I'm like, oh my god. We need to get out of the gym right now. Like, man. And the worst part is, let me focus here. The worst part is, there were like, party kids and party fiends, known party fiends, who were, they were from that crowd. They were like partying, like, just all they ever talked about. They came to school drenched in like raving gear, and you could just see the freaking, you could see the marijuana just like draping off of them. It was like an aura. It was like a power up. They walked to school with the power up of aura of hot marijuana just surrounding them. You could just smell it like a mile away. So and so they're on the way to school. They're on the way. They were one of those kids where, like, back in the 2008s, they managed to have a social media that transferred throughout the whole school. even though social media wasn't that big back then, they had social media accounts where, like, whatever they did, whatever partying they did, you somehow got an email about it or a picture of them smoking, thousands of bongs at once and just mixing whatever it is, freaking ecstasy or freaking brownies or whatever the hell it was that they were doing. You got pictures of it every single day, and it was like on the school page of I think it was MySpace at the time. It was like on the school page, they're partying and getting like flat out wasted. It was like a crowd of them, and they would just walk into the gym, holding bongs and blunts, in one hand and all over their ears, and like their whole clothing drenched in like I'm a drug addict written on their back, and they would just walk straight into the basketball gym. And the lady she would say nothing about it. She would say nothing. She would probably give them the okay to go in there. Like, yep, you guys have fun. And she would just let them go in and do whatever they want in the basketball gym. But basketball players try to go in and practice for the upcoming basketball season. And she's like, no, you can't go in there without parental guidance. Get out of there or I'm going to kick you out of school. Like, oh my God. The freaking bias of this freaking... Oh, she was a pretty big-boned woman too. We called her some names back then. Well, or at least I did. In my mind, I didn't say it out loud. But yeah, she kicked me out for wearing a hat one day because I came to school wearing a hat. She called me over the freaking the megahorn. I was in class. She called me over the megahorn. I was trying to get to class on time. Because she called me, I got to class late, so I had to go back down there. I went to her office. She intentionally made me late for class, so I had to go down there and talk to her. And then I tried to hurry up and get back to class. And then she called me on the horn again and said, get back down here, you are late. Like, what? Like, I'm late because you freaking stopped me from getting to class. And then she was like, you need to take off that hat. You need to take it off right now, right here, right by me, so I can see you take it off. I was like, I'm not taking my hat off. Like, for what? I wear do-rags to school for the past 2 years. I wore hats, what's the problem today? It's like, right now, today, hats are not allowed to school. I'm like, what? Hats are not allowed? You didn't see Joseph over there wearing a sombrero to class? It's like, you didn't see these guys over here walking around with Kings LA, Crips, I love Crips, all over their hats. You didn't see these guys walk to class? And she was like, it's not about them. It's not about them, love. This is about you. You need to take this hat off, or else I'm going to expel you. I'm going to get the principal involved. So I'm like, oh God. Like, I'm not going to take my hat off. I'm not going to take it off for you. If you got a problem with it, it's not my fault. I walked off. She called me over the intercom again. She got the principal. The principal was like a new principal. He was like, didn't know anything. He couldn't tell left from right. So, he would basically just be like the whipping boy. Whenever the ladies wanted something, they were like, hey, whatever his name is, I think his name was G-Off or something. Hey, G-Off, you need to do this right now, because if you don't take care of it, this something, they'll just make up stuff. And like, oh, you think so? And like, oh, okay, well, just tell me what I should do, and they'll just go on, just tell them to go left, right, stick your finger up your butt, and he'll do it. And so he was there like, oh, so he's not wearing a hat today. Like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Like, oh, he's wearing a hat. Well, what's the problem here? He's like, oh, you don't like him wearing a hat? I'm like, oh, well, sir, why are you wearing a hat today? What kind of questions are these? Like, why are you wearing a hat today, son? I was like, I'm wearing a hat because I wear hats. Like, I wear hats because I wore hats for the past 3 years. He's like, well, if you don't take this hat off right now, I'm gonna have to kick you out, son. Like, and at that point, I was just like so fed up with everything. I was like, if you want to kick me out, then just do it, man. Like, you want to do something, just do it. Don't talk about it. And he's like, oh, you gonna talk back to me in front of her? I was like, man, you just a new. I was like, man, just do something about it. He's like, oh, well, starting today, you are kicked out and you are not allowed on campus. I basically cursed him out. Back then, I was like a little hothead. I got into a couple fights. Got into a couple of things. But I wasn't a bad student. I had perfect attendance, actually. I had perfect attendance. The reason why I'm able to even do this is because I got perfect attendance. And I won an attendance award, and they gave me a free laptop. And that was the beginning of this. Although, not for a few years later. So, I'm gonna go out for a bit. Yeah, that school is a trip. Oh yeah, I was talking about that one girl. I never did finish that. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. I've probably been sitting still doing nothing for like 20 minutes. Okay. Pause it. It's messed up somewhere around